disheartened at the blood-spattered images coming out of Iran, and we were all moved deeply by Neda, the symbol of Iran's fallen youth who was killed by way of a sniper shot by a Basiji force member. We first and foremost support the people's cry for freedom and democracy in Iran and declare our unyielding support for their efforts. More recently, on the 28th of July 2009, Iraqi police forces savagely attacked Ashraf city, where members of the People's Mojahedin organization of Iran reside. The PMOI consists of 3,500 women and men who, until the 2003 Iraq War, were an armed opposition group against the Iranian regime. After the 2003 invasion, however, there was a voluntary handover of their weapons to U.S. forces, thereby leaving the group unarmed. They were awarded protected person status under the 4th Geneva Convention. However, during 2009, the U.S. began handover of power to Iraqi forces, and the PMOI warned Western governments, particularly the U.S. government, that they were in danger of persecution from the Iranian regime and its proxies in Iraq. The brutal attacks, which began on the 28th of July 2009, have left 13 people dead. The victims were unarmed and peaceful. They had not provoked these attacks and faced the Iraqi forces with sheer courage and bravery. To the Iraqi police's disgrace, there is ample video footage showing how the PMOI personnel faced their empty and open hands, which were held up, after which the Iraqi police began to beat these individuals with cutters, wooden boards, and guns. In simple terms, what has happened is a crime against humanity. Shockingly, condemnation against the attacks has been disgracefully slow and poor. After several days, U.S. forces did manage to airlift many of the injured to U.S. military hospitals in Baghdad. I state again, 13 people have been killed, over 500 are injured, and 36 people have been abducted with reports of their torture and imminent risk of transfer to Iranian prisons. This is in contradiction to their rights as protected persons. If we do not act and speak up to stop this catastrophe and massacre, the death toll will only rise and the suffering and bloodshed will heighten. We must not stand silently while the risk of a further massacre looms. We are here to add our voice to the collaborative effort on the International Day of Solidarity with Ashraf. We are here to demand the release of the 36 hostages detained by Iraqi forces, the pullout of Iraqi forces from Ashraf, the protection of Ashraf to be assumed by U.S. forces until an international force takes responsibility, and the presence of lawyers and international human rights organizations in Ashraf, which has been banned for the past 7 months.